Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Oh, I think they're doing a great job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome, and thank you so much for joining us as we get a chance to start things out with a good conversation about Untitled Cayman, and then a little bit later, hey, Cycle Cayman. It's all in celebration, so stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255. Courtesy of Flow.
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us on the eve of a long holiday weekend as we celebrate Cayman and our Constitution. Well, a lot of great things are happening this weekend, from the football match tomorrow night to the boxing, but in particular for those, not just the fashionistas, but those who are in fashion and style Cayman, get a chance to for you to chat with us. More information, you can go to unstyllecayman.com, but we're not here directly and deliver it from us as we put all of our attention right center in front. In the studio, Miss Stephanie Fordham, good afternoon to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, I thought after my workout on Tuesday and Tristan, took us over to the complex, I thought, man, why would he do this? We're sweating, we're thing, in the presence of all these wonderful people. But I saw equally the hard work and the preparation. So as you take us through the table, we'll have a chance to chat with everybody. Good afternoon to you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having us. So with me, we have Norma Ebanks, who is a partner of InStyle, as well as our emerging designer, Rochelle Ebanks, and our wonderful host for the weekend, Miss Jacinth Headlam. So welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me as well.
Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Well, I tell you what, thank you all, for gracing us with our presence and for making our studio that much brighter. It's a Friday. It's been a rainy, dreary week, but so much excitement in the air with all the things that are happening. And it's interesting, not just the growing complement of our community that loves fashion and design, but to see where it's growing internationally. From that, well, let's. She's getting. Thank you. You know what? We'll start with you. Talk to us. The phone or the radio? Which one is better?
The radio, of course.
You sure?
The radio.
Miss Stephen, what should we do with her today?
I don't know. This is her on a daily basis.
This is her on a daily basis?
Imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
That's a businesswoman.
It's a businesswoman?
It's a businesswoman.
So what's Miss Stephanie? Just a busy woman?
Very, very, very. Too busy, I must say. Too busy.
All right. Well, yeah. We've the housekeeping instructions order weren't sufficient, so we'll get it. What Miss Susan tells me what we'll do going forward if this phone's on a silent, we bring it to Sledgehammer. Perfect. No, she didn't see it. You know what? I love to laugh. If I could, let's start over again. Ms. Stephanie, welcome.
Thank you. I mean, just to give you a little bit of a background on InStyle, InStyle takes place this weekend, starting from tonight, actually, and it goes into tomorrow evening as well. InStyle was created to provide a platform for our local creatives. And when we say creatives, we want to use that in as broad of a spectrum as we can. Our local artists, our local fashion designers, models, makeup artists, to hairstylists, that type of thing. It's really just a platform to put them on display, showcase their amazing talent. I myself, I've been a makeup artist on the island for going on 20 years now. And, you know, yes, we have, you know, weddings that come up, events that come up, but it's never really something to fully display our passions, you know, and really just, you know, let the public know kind of what they have going on. I mean, when I look now at some of the artists that we have that have partnered with InStyle, like the amazing artwork. And yes, you know, some of them are very popular artists and you have seen their work before. However, like we also have the emerging designers that are coming up kind of behind us and people that want to do makeup that, you know, following almost in the footsteps of myself. But when you actually sit back and see the passion that are in the young Caymanians here, I mean, I get goosebumps just kind of talking about it. It's wild. Just so much passion, so much talent. And I mean, Rochelle is here, for example. Rochelle has been designing clothes, I think, probably from inside of the womb. And some of the other emerging designers that are on board and that you'll see their designs tonight, it is just phenomenal. I mean, Norma is a partner of InStyle. Like, she's actually gone into the government high schools and implemented a program to help kind of cultivate this passion of fashion design. I know kind of back in the day we would have like home ec, you would learn how to sew and that kind of thing. She's actually gone in and shown them how to put a full collection together. And I'm talking New York Fashion Week type runway type clothes. Or designs, I should say. It's just mind blowing. Just how they have just, I mean, grabbed on to what she's taught them, and really just putting their passion to paper and then seeing it come to life is really, it's overwhelming just thinking about it. But we really just want the public to see really just what the kids are up to and what our kids are actually capable of, and give them a platform to take their passion and their abilities to the next level, whether that be you know, for an international showcase or whatnot. That's really where we want to see this go, and really have our youth benefit from being involved in a platform like InStyle Cayman.
You know, and I commend you for that, because I think the idea, especially within the Caribbean region, but specifically in Cayman, relatively small population, you know, not even, you know, yet, not close to 100,000, but not quite there yet. Relatively speaking, still a small place geographically, population-wise. And as I asked Mr. Smith to join us so that we can see what we can do coming from a small place, you know, whether you're 100,000 or you're 3 million, still relatively small in a sense, but much can happen. Yeah. For you, not just as hosting the event, but also, you know, actor, producer, being involved with so much, it has to inspire others.
Yeah, absolutely. Just mind blown from seeing the kids tonight, and their collection, and just it starts from the youth, and to pour into them, that's just mind blowing. The whole weekend with art, fashion, music, everything you can think of in the entertainment realm fused together. That's all InStyle, and I'm just happy to be here on the island. Just got back from Nigeria, so I'm glad to be around Caribbean food and beach.
Thank you for the honesty. The food. But that's the thing, the food, man.
Yeah, so I'm glad to be to change the atmosphere. I love Africa, but it's not like the Caribbean.
No, man. And I was thinking earlier about something, so we might get into that because food is one of those things that can unify a people.
Yes.
You know, you break the fellowship you make. And I want to actually get Miss Rochelle to come in a bit, but Ms. Norma, from that perspective of when we're looking at fashion and fashion design, I think back to tours of schools where there are prospective students who are interested. I think that of times where I visited friends who were at schools that had design, technology, and fashion, different aspects, and seeing how sometimes it's even perceived amongst the faculty at these schools, even though that's a focus area in the school, there's a perception, and it's not meant to be anything other than there's that perception, right?
There is.
So
there is.
Come a little closer now that we got Eddie. Talk to us, Ms. Norma.
I remember back in the days, when you used to go to school, you used to have textile, home and textile. And home and textile at that time cover home economic and all of that used to. Because the same teacher that normally used to teach you home economic, teach you home and textile. So what really brought me to this is my daughter, Rochelle. I've been in Cayman, in business in Cayman, being owner of creative fashion and design for the last 18 years and been in the fashion world for the last 30 years. Wow. And now I have my daughter, Rochelle, who want to pursue it as a career.
All right. When we come back from the break, maybe I can ask, and if you would love us, Miss, just from the perspective of one, we see traditionally, I'll use the son and the father. So the father was a miner, a plumber, electrician, a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. The son usually would follow in their footsteps. And then I started thinking of this discussion today, understanding that even here, what the parent does, sometimes the child will equally follow. So if Ms. Rochelle would allow us to sort of be, in a sense, tap into her, is that because of your presence, your influence? Is it, DNA?
At first, I thought that. At first, when she said, Mom, I remember the first time she said to me, Mom, there was a fashion show, Cayman Fashion Week, and she asked me, Mom, can I be a fashion designer? And I remember asking her the question, do you want to be a fashion designer or do you want to follow Mommy? And she said, no, I want to be a fashion designer. She was nine at that time. Anyway, I said, okay, if you want to do it, go ahead. But then after that, over the years, I said, is it something you want to do? Until last year, when she said to me, Mom, this is what I want.
That's it, man. And we tie that into your passion for inspiring, motivating, and wanting to lead and encourage and nurture, especially young people. So we could tie that in, because here's an example firsthand. And this is what it's about. It's not just the fashion and the opportunity for the business, but about the building of our people. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to this discussion. When we come back, we'll see where it takes us. So please stay tuned for Talk Today.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Dessert lovers, Exquisite Edibles presents an exciting series of cookie making and cake decorating workshops with award-winning cake designer Daniel Catan at Savannah Primary School, Tuesday, July 9th to Sunday, July 14th. Sugar roses, buttercream, fondant, 3D cakes, cookies, and a wedding cake masterclass. Beginners and advanced learners are all welcome. Price ranges $150 to $200. For more details and to register, call or WhatsApp 917-5538. or email exquisite.edibles@yahoo.com. Exquisite Edibles brings Daniel Catan to Cayman, July 9th to 14th. Hurry, space is limited.
The 18th Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts, Sunday, June 30th at the Hockwell Theatre, is brought to you by the new Self-Help Community Foundation. This event is proudly sponsored by Rubis Eastern Avenue, Savannah, Red Bay and Jose's, Rainbow Realty, Cayman National, Mitsubishi, Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports, Agriculture and Lands, Barden Corporate Services, L&T Tires, Island Heritage, Reliable Industries, Markson's Furniture, Ministry of Health and Culture, and Muck Russ. Prepaid tickets for the 2019 Talent Exposition of the Arts at the Hockwell Theatre are available at Funky Tanks and Winter Circle Sports for $10 or $15 at the gate.
The following is a special announcement from the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association.
It's that time again. SIXA Back to School. Members, backpack and school supplies distribution will take place July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIXA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 shoe shop.
And July 13th in Cayman Brac from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing.
Members, you are being asked to kindly bring identification, and if you are collecting bags on behalf of another member, please bring a written signed note from that member with a copy of their ID as well. Remember, SIXA members backpack distribution July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIXA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 shoe shop.
July 13th in Cayman Brac, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing. And to quote Anthony D'Angelo, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow.
Tune in to Radio Cayman on Saturday, June 29th, starting at 7:30 a.m. as we bring you live coverage of a cultural breakfast hosted by the Honourable Premier. It's to celebrate our special relationship with both Jamaica and the United Kingdom. Guests include heads of governments from the British Overseas Territories, representatives from Jamaica and the Jamaican diaspora in the Cayman Islands, members of the clergy and the Constitutional Commission. The 1959 Legislative Assembly of Justices and Vestry, which enacted the first constitution, will be represented by family members. Tune in to Radio Cayman on Saturday, June 29th, starting at 7:30 a.m. as we bring you live coverage of a cultural breakfast.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waging to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, exactly. Good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. And that choice that you just heard about, she chose Radio Cayman. No, in the studio as we talk about Untitled Cayman, the opportunity to really know the chat through Miss Stephanie Ford, Ramon, and Miss Norma Ebanks, together with emerging, aspiring designer Miss Rochelle Ebanks. But the hosts for the weekend, and I must share when Coach Tristan from boxing shared with me, because he gives me tidbits, and I thought, okay, who's coming, what's what, right? And then he shared enough, and I thought, wow, this is the caliber, this is the talent that we have. And so I must just I'll be honest with you, it's inspiring and motivating to see, if I may see, us young people, right, Miss Norma? Us young people being able to, at an early age, put a stop on things, right? Because sometimes you have to get to a certain age, at least that's what they think, before they start to recognize and respect and reward you. So before we bring Rochelle, whenever you're ready, Miss Rochelle, to jump into it and tell us about your design and your inspiration, and you just let us know, all right? We're all good to go? Good stuff. I think we should go for lunch first, what do you think? Yes. I'm with you. Maybe Miss Susan could send out for some, I don't know, a red bean soup, perhaps. Yeah, that would be good. With a piece of bread. Yeah.
Bread and butter.
Bread. Okay, I'll cut back on the butter because I'm not that young. But from that perspective, as you design and stuff, what inspires you? Like, just sit down and something comes to mind, or you think about, I wonder what this would look like. Like maybe a chocolate coated parrot. Hold out. No, just no. Where do you, when you're doing a design, what is it that brings you on to get you ready to your design and inspires you? And what do you do?
Listen to music.
Yeah. Did you hear my new CD that I dropped recently?
No.
No. Don't listen. She's like, thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully.
So music. Hey, Miss Norma. So music inspires, right? You just got to go in, if I may ask it, any particular kind of music you like?
No.
Just anything, huh?
Just anything.
All right. And then when you're doing your design, how? By hand, by paper, computer, take a drawing and a pencil, and how is it?
Pencil and piece of paper.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I used to have pencil piece of paper too, but it's usually number 1 and 15. And but it's normal when I look at you, and I think not just the business acumen and the notion, but having to either, one, make sure the business is successful, they can pay its bills, but also fulfill a passion, a calling, and then you get a chance to inspire your daughter to see her come along. That in itself must be very rewarding.
It is.
All right.
When Rochelle came to me last year, she said, "Mom, this is what I want." I'm a little bit hoarse though, from all of this preparing.
That's okay, man.
And I said to her, okay. So I went to Clifton, onto school to with her, and that was when I was told that they don't offer it.
Right.
So I'm like, Rochelle, school don't offer it. What are you going to do? She said, well, Mom, then I'll think. So she come back to me. She said to me, she wanted a veterinarian, and I'm like, veterinarian? So I was trying to figure out how veterinarian design. So I'm like, veterinarian, you have a dog, you don't want the dog. And she said, Mom, that's the point. I can't get what I want.
She's smart.
Yes, I went to the school, and that was when after going to the school, there was 3. It was 3 a year? 5. It was 5 of them that chose it. So teacher said, government don't offer it. I mean, I won't get into that part. So I spoke to a teacher, and she said to me she would help me to help Rochelle, so Rochelle can be able to succeed. And that was when it started.
Right. If I could then, from that perspective, because it's really an honor to meet you and have a chance to chat, and if you would allow me to use this time to pick up on what I see as a real passion, not just the success that comes with being an active producer and author and the like, but we want to inspire people, and if I may say, women in particular, because too often we allow our daughters or sisters to believe, well, you can only go this far, or you can't, because even in the 21st century, there's still these self-imposed limitations, and these are the impediments that we have that are real. For you, for the Rochelles and the other young people, but the young ladies in particular, they could follow your footsteps. What would you say to them to inspire them to make sure that they achieve and attain their goals and dreams?
I would definitely say having the mindset that you are enough and that you can do everything and anything you put your mind to. Because oftentimes we think that the dream is too big. What am I can't do that. That's impossible. No, I think Rochelle is a great example to telling you, even though she's a teenager and she started at 9, that you can do anything you put your mind to. Now she's a teenage fashion designer that's showcasing her clothing line tonight at In Style at the Ritz. But just knowing that you guys are enough. When I knew I wanted to be in the entertainment industry as an artist, I found out about, I would say around 8, 9. And when I went to my mom, sorry, Auntie Norma, but when I went to my mom and told her I wanted to be an artist, she said, model, acting, go take your book. That's the typical Caribbean parents. They'll want you to be something more prestige, where the lawyer, the doctor, the teacher, and that's just wasn't. I stuck to my plan A, and thank God.
Amen. Yes, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, right?
Come on, somebody.
Yeah, that's what you say, boy. See, even the devil's close scripture. No, Miss Susan McBoy be here. But we're starting from that perspective, though, because it's probably the same in almost every household, especially the households that have a particular leaning. But in Cayman, for sure, your parents want you to focus on certain things. Even if you're good in sport or art or something else, are you studying your books? Did you pick up your books? Are you giving that your all? And then we come to Cayman and you find people who, I won't call names because they didn't give me permission, but I think of people who are very much inclined to the culinary arts, but they have to still do their day job in law, accounting, finance, and government and somewhere else. But in the evenings, thankfully, they're in the kitchens, and I enjoy what they produce. From that, what Ms. Jensen shared, Ms. Stephanie, how do we get to that point where we respect the arts and the creative side of the fashion and the like?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we created In Style, like I mentioned previously. My story is very similar. The reason why I'm a partner of In Style is for those reasons solely. I grew up very religious. My parents were in the church and whatnot. My entire household and family were very religious. And, makeup was something I never saw on a daily basis. And like Rochelle and like Jacinth, like I remember at 8 years old, kind of stashing my weekly allowance in order to buy a Vogue and Marie Claire magazine, and I would have to stash them like underneath my mattress so my dad couldn't find them, because that just wasn't allowed, right? But I just couldn't shake my passion for beauty and makeup and everything else. So, my focus then moved from Marie Claire and Vogue and daydreaming about it to buying like photography books and art books and studying highlights and contours. I mean, back then, like YouTube wasn't a thing, so I couldn't just hop onto YouTube and get a tutorial on how to do makeup, right? So, I studied those books and when I got older, then I started kind of dabbling, doing makeup on friends and whatnot. However, all this time, my parents didn't know that I had that passion for makeup. They didn't know that I was even doing makeup. Up until about 6-7 years ago, was really when my family knew exactly what I was doing. But at that time, I would have had, countless local magazine covers under my belt. I was, given, some amazing opportunities from people, whereas, I would have been on the Travel Channel on national television, Style Network. I did Good Housekeeping magazines, Men's Health magazines, all this, and my parents hadn't known. And that was solely out of fear from, coming from that religious background and them not necessarily accepting what I was doing. That was probably my biggest fear. And it wasn't until a month before my father passed away that I knew that he knew that I was actually doing makeup, because unbeknown to me, he had all my covers and I had no clue.
Oh my God.
Yep. And, a month later, after I found that out, a month later, sadly, he passed away. But, I think us as a society, sometimes we almost get it a little confused. What we kind of project onto our kids is that we have to have this prestigious, job title of partner and doctor. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like they're amazing careers. Like my daughter is pre-med, and I'm in the financial industry myself. But my passion solely is makeup.
Okay, I'm going to just allow you and hopefully encourage you, because how she said, I'm just in the financial industry and my daughter is just pre-made. I don't wish to be disrespectful, but if you would allow me, because I think you said something just now that too many of us as parents, we ignore. We want our children to succeed, but as the Cayman society, we still see certain things as more, I guess, important than other things.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to use it this way, but you sneaked around trying and doing all these great things and being very successful, but not being as a community.
Exactly.
Being nurtured.
That's what we want to encourage, and I can't express enough, to just really get our Caymanian community just, open and embracing the creative arts and the talent on this island is just, it blows my mind
away.
And especially now with In Style coming up, it's just, the things that we've seen and the conversations that we've had over the past few months have just, it definitely takes you doing in style to a whole other level. It was never about us, but it's more so about the youth. Rochelle and Georgette came in here the other day and she'd literally just light up the room through her passion of fashion design. And I really I can't express enough, like, for the community to just come together and really embrace our local creatives and, support the events. Tonight, the proceeds from the event tonight are all going to the Alex Panton Foundation to help them help our youth. Our creatives with the almost like stifling effect that it has on us telling them to kind of do this or do that. They then suffer from anxiety. They suffer from depression, and I could literally sit here all day and talk to you about it, but it all kind of ties in together. So we have partnered with the Alex Panton Foundation and in their supports to really push what their platform is. But again, like I honestly, I can't express myself enough to say the platform is there for creatives. We want to put them on showcase. We want to show the public and the community as a whole what they're capable of, and really just push their passions, push their dreams. Like, some artists can sell one painting a year and live very well. So it's not like you can't have a career from being an artist. There are makeup artists that I know that I've networked with and the money is just insane what you can do and whatnot. So you can actually have a career in these fields, and that's something that we want to push.
Same as the fashion designer.
Right. Yeah.
Because like tomorrow night, you have some big name fashion designers coming on.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the designers that we have coming on have dressed the likes of Michelle Obama, Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, Miley Cyrus.
Susan Watson,
Stephanie Ford, yeah, right. The sky's the limit when it comes to that stuff, and that's really what we want to express and just really put out there.
Well, when we come back, if you would just in the closing sort of segment, remind people tonight, tomorrow night, talk about it. We can hit up the sponsors and the like, and I'm just honored that we can get a chance to showcase and really draw attention to the creative aspect and the arts in the community. So please stay tuned for Talk Today.
There are plenty of reasons to be a Logic customer. There's lightning fast internet connectivity. There's the great overall customer experience. And now you can improve your Wi-Fi connectivity with Logic Boost Wi-Fi for free. With Boost, you can extend your freedom to stream, game, and download seamlessly anywhere in your home, like your patio or your underground lair if you have one. Sign up now for any Logic Bundle package and get free Boost Wi-Fi for a limited time. Visit logic.ky for details.
Here's an important announcement from the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. The NICE Project Summer Registration and Orientation will be happening this Tuesday, the 2nd of July, 9 a.m. at the Line Center. To register, all applicants must produce a photo ID, such as a passport, driver's license, or a voter's card, to make sure your application can be accepted and properly processed. Application forms should be completed beforehand as much as possible and brought in on registration day. Application forms are available at all district libraries, MLA offices, NAU, WORC, formerly NWDA, and the Government Administration Building.
Support our port, support our tourism.
I support building the piers because the cruise industry puts millions of dollars into our economy each year. Without that revenue, young people like me risk facing an uncertain future. Learn more and spread the word.
Looking forward, looking bright. Support our port, support our tourism.
Hi, this is Bob Kingsley, and this weekend,
the Bob Kingsley Top 40 Countdown is brought to you by Merengue Town. Liven up your weekends and let loose with the grooves of Merengue Town. It's time. Feel the rhythm. Time to feel the vibes. It's time for Merengue Town.
and of course, the rest of the 40 hottest hit makers on the radio this weekend, right here on the Country Top 40.
Did you know that once properly sanitized, some tinned food items may still be safe for consumption after coming in contact with floodwater? In order to properly sanitize these tins, always remove labels, and then wash tins in a strong detergent solution using a brush to get rid of excess impurities. Tins must then be immersed in a solution made of 2 tablespoons of chlorine bleach per gallon of water for 10 minutes. Ensure that containers are air-dried before opening. For more post-hurricane food safety tips, visit the DEH website at deh.gov.ky.
The following is a special announcement from the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association.
It's that time again. SIXA Back to School Member Backpack and School Supplies Distribution will take place July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIXA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 Shoe Shop.
And July 13th in Cayman Brac from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing.
Members, you are being asked to kindly bring identification, and if you are collecting bags on behalf of another member, please bring a written signed note from that member with a copy of their ID as well. Remember, SIXA Members Backpack Distribution, July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIXA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 Shoe Shop.
July 13th in Cayman Brac, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing. And to quote Anthony D'Angelo, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. As we tell you about Untitled Cayman and the good company of Miss Stephanie Ford Ramon, together Miss Norma Ebanks, and a wonderful daughter, Miss Rochelle. And I think that the host, actress, author, producer, actor, Miss Jacinth Hidlam. We see, and I say this with the greatest respect, we see many times in the political and in the financial realm, the conferences, the different things that happen here, even this weekend. And with the greatest respect to them, the great contributions that they may make to our GDP and the like, it's the creatives, it's the opportunity for people to see the art and the fashion and like that. That unifies the society, it tells the stories. And as I asked Miss Stephanie to get in, perhaps just in from that perspective, society sometimes don't appreciate in a contemporary session the contributions of the artists. Down the road, we might play a calypso song and talk about something, whether it's the soca talking about beach access, or whether it's the painting that depicts
it's just
something
as fun, just fun stuff.
Yeah. But we don't see how important it is, how it records and captures the society, how it tells a story, right? And but also how it can be lucrative if you just have that success, right?
Yes, definitely. Thank God I'm a full-time artist, so I was able to walk away from my financial, the corporate world. And just now a full-time artist, a full-time acting. I'm a QVC on-air model. Now a first-time author of Love After. So I am able to walk out my dreams. But not a lot of people are able to do that because they have the fear of, I got to have a plan A. My art cannot be my plan A because it's not doable or it's not realistic. It is,
Is it then from, and I don't... maybe because of time, but also because of the other pressing things. But is it then just briefly because the parent or the teacher saying to that child who's aspiring artist, fashion designer, some of the creative, saying, well, the probability of you being successful is 1 in a zillion or 1 in whatever. Just like we tell the young boys, particularly who want to play football, you're a great player, but you know how many other great players are there globally. So chances are of you playing in the World Cup isn't that.
Yeah, I think the artist and the athlete and those careers that are looked down upon are just entertainment, but it's not taken seriously. It takes a village. Support, pour into them, and let them know that they can do it, because we are raised with the mindset where this is not doable. Like everybody and their mama want to be a singer, an artist, an athlete, a football player. What makes you so special? But why wouldn't that person be so special? You know what I'm saying? So you have to really pour into that person. I always say, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Like if you can uplift them, especially the young people, they're more sensitive, I feel like. So you really have to be careful how you pour into them and make sure that you just pour life and just positivity and just encourage them that they are enough, they can do it.
Life and death is in the tongue, the power of the word, right?
Yes, the word is powerful.
Yeah, as you shared, I was just thinking of a story someone related to me about how teachers, coaches, parents, adults speak to children sometimes unknowingly and not understand how cutting that can be instead of how inspiring. From that, though, Ms. Stephanie, as Jacinth indicated, it takes a village, it takes the community, the corporate investment, the individual contribution, all of us. Now, your partnership with the Alex Banton Foundation, I think, is remarkable because, without question, it shows how important health is, whether it's mental, physical,
Right.
spiritual, financial. Health is important. So, talk to
Yeah,
us now.
Absolutely. In particular, too, just on the back end of that, the benefits of art therapy for anyone that's going through, depression or any sort of mental illness, using that as an outlet to just really bring out kind of what they may have going on or whatnot. Like art is an amazing outlet for something like that. So we definitely have partnered with the Alex Pandon Foundation, and as mentioned earlier, the proceeds from tonight are all 100% of that is going to the foundation in support of their efforts.
Okay. And then can we still, tonight, tomorrow, if we want to be a part of it, get tickets and the like? Is that still possible?
Absolutely. We still have tickets available. Our outlets, NKY, 5th on 7, Silhouette, Funky Tangs, Creative Fashion and Design, and Winter Circle. They all will still have tickets. Tickets are actually available at the gate as well. There's not a markup on the price. It'll be the same price across the board. So, we're just encouraging people to just really come out tonight, come out tomorrow night. Tonight is all about our local talent. We'll have our local artists there. We have a silent auction as well. And our local fashion designers will be there. We'll also have some exciting stuff like live art painting and that kind of thing will be there. So it's literally like a gallery of just creative arts. It's going to be pretty spectacular. And tomorrow is definitely the big runway show. And, we have our international designers that have come in, as well as some of our local designers as well. So we have Sergio Hudson, like I mentioned, he is dressed like Michelle Obama and Beyonce previously. Cool Creative, we have Yuzuri that's come in from Jamaica, Sai Sanko that's come in. We also have Juven Dunn, Kenzie Rose from Cayman, Mary Ellis, Digna and Carrie Ann are actually local designers that they're going to be showing as well, in addition to a kids designer. So the kids actually get a full runway show tomorrow as well. We have as young as 4, and we go straight up. So they're going to dominate the runway as well. We're excited about that. And, to make this all possible, of course, we've had some amazing sponsors that come on board and to donate. I mean, just remarkable things. And if I can just run through this list very quickly. Bellissima by Bella. We have Car City. We have Cayman Diving, Cayman Times, Creative Fashion and Design, Friends and Frames, H&G Construction Ideas Marketing, Infinite Mind Care, Intrigue Floral and Events, JNSQ, Kirk Freeport, Mind Shift, the Ministry of Health, Environment, Culture and Housing, NCI Services, Pinnacle Media, Poppe Studio, Print Tech, Radio Cayman, Rock Gorgeous, the Ritz-Carlton, the V-Lab, Trifecta, and I mean, I could probably go on forever, but the support so far has just been remarkable, and we just really want to thank everyone that's come on board, volunteers or otherwise. It's been amazing. It's been very overwhelming to see the support, and we reach out to the community and really ask that you support our local creatives tonight. The ticket prices are $75 for tonight, and like we mentioned, it's all about our local creatives tonight. All about our local creatives.
Well, I commend you and Ms. Norma, especially for being inspiration to Rochelle, to seeing that this is a passion. You nurture it, help her to pursue it, and
I'm just always humbled. I'm just always humbled.
Yeah, man, exactly, man. And like Jacinth shares, let it be your plan A. It doesn't have to be your plan B.
Don't settle.
Don't settle.
No.
It's like us. Hear that, young ladies? Don't settle.
Don't settle.
And we also deliver ticket. If you want your ticket to be delivered, you can call 9280344.
All right, there you go. Thanks very much. Have a wonderful, very, very successful, enjoyable weekend.
Thank you.
And see how it goes. And to Rochelle, keep inspired. All is well. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
To our listeners, join us after the break. In style, Cayman.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
With your headlines, I'm April Cummings. A 21-year-old West Bay man is due to appear in court today. He was previously charged with conspiracy to commit burglary, possession of an unlicensed firearm, and discharging a firearm in public. He's now been charged with attempted murder, along with a 21-year-old man from Bordentown. The charges are in relation to a shooting on April 26 on South Church Street in Georgetown. The victim was shot twice. In international headlines, world leaders attending a Group of 20 summit in Japan that began today are clashing over values that have served for decades as the foundation of their cooperation, as they face calls to fend off threats to economic growth. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe told his counterparts in opening the two-day G20 meeting that a free and open economy is the basis for peace and prosperity. The meeting comes as leaders grapple with profound tensions over trade, globalization, and a collapsing nuclear deal with Iran. Record temperatures in France as it records its hottest day ever, 113.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Some 4,000 French schools were closed, cooling rooms have been opened, and hours for public swimming pools extended, all in an effort to make it easier for people to cool off. A newspaper is reporting that Apple will manufacture its new Mac Pro computer in China, shifting away from a U.S. assembly line that it had been using for that product in recent years. The Wall Street Journal reported the plan today, citing unidentified people familiar with the move. Apple issued a statement of its own, saying the new Mac Pro would be designed and engineered in California, but would not say where it was going to be assembled. Those are your headlines. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
The following is a special announcement from the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association.
It's that time of back to school. Member, backpack, and school supplies distribution will take place July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIXA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 shoe shop.
And July 13th in Cayman Bragg from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing.
Members, you are being asked to kindly bring identification. And if you are collecting bags on behalf of another member, please bring a written signed note from that member with a copy of their ID as well. Remember, SIXA members backpack distribution July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIXA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 shoe shop.
July 13th in Cayman Bragg, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing. And to quote Anthony D'Angelo, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow.
Wow, it seems I buy a battery every year.
Oh, for real? You should buy your car battery from Vampman. Their batteries are tough. I have a 3-year warranty on mine.
Oh, I know that trick. I take it back and they charge me a percentage of the price.
Hear me out, bro. Not at Vamp Bobo. You can get a 3-year full warranty, no charge. And if they install it at Vamp, it includes free towing and jumping service. And let me tell you, you will never have to get your hands dirty changing no battery.
Get Motorcraft Max or Plus battery for 20% off when it's installed by the service department at Vamp Motors on Walkers Road. Now that's a deal you can get charged up about. Vamp Motors, keeping you on the road.
Extended through June.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And, I thank Radio Cayman for being not just the stalwart radio station it is, the community station, but for so graciously, willingly, and, very deliberately showcasing our country. It's an honor, from a sporting event to some broadcasts, through one of our schools, to our church services, to other community initiatives, and to support our entrepreneurs. As I was sharing, off air with our last guest, that our next guest, in the form of Ms. Darla Dilbert, someone I admire, her business acumen, her entrepreneurial nature, just her character and integrity, her fun-loving, very uplifting, individual. So, Ms. Darla, honestly, you're amazing, man. I say this always to be encouraged and inspired, but hopefully it'll cause other women particularly to take a page from your book.
Sterling, you always lift me up. It's my pleasure to be here, and thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for coming and for accepting the invite, and for bringing along Daniel. Mr. Poirier, as I get a chance to hopefully through you talk about Cycle Cayman, but all of us need to have something or someone that can inspire us, that can encourage us in the Cayman context, with the greatest respect to any other society and other people. The Caymanians of yesteryear, our fathers and grandfathers, who were seafarers, who sacrificed, who came on as a mess man and left as the ship's captain. That's still in us. That's our nature, right, Ms. Donna?
Yeah, and we definitely want to pass it down to as many younger Caymanians as we possibly can. It's just that those that did it for us have passed on, so it's now we have to take up the mantle and pass it on.
Time to hold our torch and lift it bright.
Agreed.
Daniel, good afternoon, man.
How are you doing, Sterling? Good to be here.
It's a good place to be. I mean, look at my window outside at Susan. It's kind of like sitting on a Bosun Bay bluff, looking at the Cameron Black bluff. Kind of it's beautiful, Miss Donna.
Beautiful.
Cycle Cayman, and we'll chat about it, the inspiration, what is it, and the like. Share with us, because I think we need to get our people to appreciate that there are incredible business opportunities here if we understand how to, position ourselves, and how to place our product and the like. And other people are using the Cayman marketplace to do great things. For some reason, our people need to make sure that we do the same.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. So what is Cycle Cayman?
So Cycle Cayman is an alternative transportation solution in the form of bicycles. The initiative is solar powered. Meaning that the locking mechanism itself is solar powered. The way the system actually works is through an app on the iPhone or Android, depending on your preference. You log into the app, you put in your personal details, payment details included, and you're able to rent a bike from designated locations across the island. That is essentially the gist of it. Similar to a good example would be maybe a city bike in Miami, or Barclays bike, I believe it's called. Might be Santander bike in London right now.
There was one in Oregon that I was familiar with. It was 1,000 years ago and different. They were yellow, they were free, but they didn't last long. But it was neat, you rode it and you...
Exactly.
But many of us like to get from one point to the next, and we're concerned about our environment.
Well, that's the big thing about this, Sterling, is that it is solar driven. It's green. It's all, looking at the environment around us. It's a great form of exercise.
Yeah, they are.
It's going to help our transportation system a little bit, or a lot.
A lot, yeah. Well, I'm hoping that as a country we start to look at cyclists and pedestrians and less motorized traffic in terms of autos and the like, so that we're safe on our roads, we're conscious of our environment, we're conscious of our health. Cycling, there was a friend, I was mentioning to him the discussion earlier, and I had to do a double take because he always looked healthy and athletic. But in recent times, I didn't quite realize how often he's been deliberately riding more to work.
Wow.
And even though he was athletic looking, healthy, exercise, just that, one change. He rode from home to work and back home.
Right.
Not a long distance.
Just consistently.
Yeah. He actually looks even healthier, more muscular, and the like. And he says, the best part was he saved a lot of money.
Can we meet this guy?
Yeah. And less frustration when you're dealing with traffic too, So that's another big thing. My biggest problem would be is just the heat, going from work to there. But, I really look forward to getting out there, for, some downtime later on. Once we've gotten a bit more settled, we've got a lot more locations put into play. And right now we're talking, with several different entities, including government officials, to try and get us in the locations so that it could be easier for not only tourism, but for the local and the resident here who wants to utilize it for the different areas.
I think, and
outside of work.
As you share with us, I was just looking as you were sharing that to other countries that because of the population and like they have bicycles. Bermuda with their mopeds, but it's still motorized and not eco-friendly. But if we could, at the government admin building, grab a bike and we can ride to get lunch and come back.
Right.
As long as we're safe on the roads, as long as people are respectful, you can park 10 bikes or more in a space that would take one car.
Exactly.
If not more bikes.
Correct.
And it's so much better. So Daniel, as we look at this, tell us more. I mean, it's a great concept.
Agreed, Sterling. And when you look at the landscape of where Cayman is headed in regards to, the population increase that is coming up and is forecasted for us, it's really at a key time that this venture is coming into play because, as we're saying here, it's not necessarily that you're going to bike to work every single day, but you'll have that option.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Depending on the location you're coming from, and that's what we're here to provide, an alternative. Not only to obviously that type of scenario, but if you just want to go around and take a stroll, have some exercise, go out with some friends, we're catering to. We actually have an upcoming membership subscription catered specifically to locals and residents. That is more cost effective from those scenarios, as well as obviously we're looking to target visitors to the island as well, because obviously their actual input in regards to renting vehicles, renting bikes, mopeds I should say, does contribute to the negative side effects for our environment. So looking at it from that perspective, we're trying to cover all angles here, but we'll see how it goes, I guess.
And I think that not just the concept of ecotourism, but that adventure tourists, as we understand from the marketers, who will come and who may want to grab a bicycle and ride and go sightseeing.
Well, a lot of these people are coming from cities or, large and populated areas, and they already have it there. I myself, travel quite extensively. And everywhere that I've gone, I've seen this.
Yeah.
And this is how it all kind of came about. And I thought, what a great idea. And after having a service, because I also visit spas wherever I go. And my masseuse told me, this is how I get to work and from work. And we had a great conversation around it. And I was like, wow, this is such an economical way. It's a good way for a major city. Or a major populated area that, there's a lot of traffic jam and whatnot going on. And, it couldn't have been a, more green way.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, wow, I got to go back to my entrepreneurial nephew and bring this forward.
Well, we are speaking to Darla Dilbert and Daniel Poirier about Cycle Cayman. And as I was sort of thinking of your vision here, it is remarkable. From the country's perspective, the sort of contribution to infrastructure, less cost because you need less roads, less pollution, so will be perceived to be more environmentally conscious.
Right.
And the more of us that are moving about in this fashion, I reached out to a couple of students, as the school year is drawing to a close, and finding that young people, on the 22-ish, those who haven't yet finished university and those who have just about to graduate high school, their interest in owning a car isn't the same level as it was for me.
Right.
And they do it economically. Purchase of a car is X, whether you do it cash or you get a loan from bank or friend. The insurance, the licensing, the maintenance and the like. But then the environmental. And then I mentioned to them, I thought, this is something that would work for them. They can grab a bike down the road to work, grab a bike and even back home.
Great. Yeah.
So it makes sense.
That's a great. I mean, we didn't really think about targeting the university college, but it is actually, you just gave us another great location to put on our plan.
Some pro tips.
There you go, man. That's why I do my consultants in life. I'm
with you there.
There you go. So how do we access? I mean, Cycle Cayman. I obviously know a little bit about it because Ms. Norma says, make sure you know what you're talking about before you go talking about it. I'm just kidding. She's the boss. How do we find out more about it? Where do we find out about it? I mean, there was a time when I thought an app was something you ate, but now I know differently.
Now you know differently. An easy way to start, easy location to find out just what's going on as far as locations we're currently active at and upcoming locations, our website, cyclecayman.com.
Okay.
Tried to make it as simple as possible. We also have a Facebook page. You could follow our handle at Facebook and Instagram. The handle is at cyclecayman. But yeah, if you want more specific details, you could always email myself directly at info@cyclecayman.com as well. Happy to provide any further details you need.
All right. Well, we'll pause, take a short break with Susan. Is that the plan? When we come back, continue talking to Daniel Purry and Darla Dilbert about Cycle Cayman. While you're listening, if you want to go on cyclecayman.com, have a quick look at it and see what it's like. Any questions, you can call. Miss Susan's right there. Yes, she is from the back, but she's very much a product of Cayman.
So are we indirectly?
Yeah, there you go. 949-8037 and 949-6990. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
King Sports Center Art of Fun Summer Camp is back from July 2nd to August 2nd. Now in its 15th year, the Art of Fun Camp is ideal for kids ages 5 through 10 with activities from football, basketball, dodgeball, squash, rock climbing, arts and craft, dance, singing, and more. Your child can practice physical and social skills while having fun in a safe and secure environment. For more info, call 946-KING. Like King's Sports Center on Facebook, and you can also find them on Instagram or call 946-5464. King Sports Center, providing you with all your fitness, recreation, and relaxation needs. Register before May 31st and save 10%.
The Tuesday and Thursday edition of The Business Buzz is brought to you by Cayman Medical Supplies, providing quality pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and consumer products to healthcare providers, retailers, and ultimately the patients at a reasonable rate in a friendly, caring, and timely manner. Cayman Medical Supplies is located at number 93 Smith Road, Windward Center. Telephone 949-6211.
Important announcement for the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. The NICE Project Summer Registration and Orientation will be happening this Tuesday, 2nd July, 9 a.m. at the Line Center. To register, all applicants must produce a proper photo ID, such as a passport, driver's license, or a voter registration card, to make sure your application can be accepted and properly processed. Application forms should be completed beforehand as much as possible and brought in on registration day. Forms are available at district libraries, MLA offices, NAU, WRC formerly NWDA, and also at the Government Administration Building.
Sometimes having a middleman is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to insurance. Do you know that when it comes to cost, ease, speed, and peace of mind, insurance brokers ranked higher than when customers buy direct? So, for all your insurance needs, call Fidelity Insurance. We're the middleman you want. Call us today at 949-7822. Fidelity. We're good for you.
The Talent Exposition of the Arts is now 18 years old. Cayman, get ready! The new Self-Help Community Foundation presents the 18th Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts. Sunday, June 30th at the Hawkwheel Theatre. Take in awesome performances by Caitlin Tyson, UCCI Performing Arts, Liana Da Costa, Georgetown Primary School Performing Arts, Erica Rocket McBean, along with special appearances by gold medalists Stella Marie Junior Dancers and MCs Andrel Harris and Anika Connolly. Part of the proceeds from the Talent Exposition will go to support the Francis Buttons Children's Home. Prepaid tickets are available at Funky Tanks and Winner's Circle for $10 or $15 at the gate. The 2019 Talent Exposition of the Arts from 5:30 p.m. Sunday, June 30th at the Hawkwheel Theatre. Get your tickets today.
Kick off Constitution Weekend with an exciting international all-star football match that you won't want to miss. Saturday, June 29th at Truman Bodden Sports Complex. Football legends Gianfranco Zola of Italy, Shaka Hislop of Trinidad and Tobago, Ricardo Gardner and Darren Moore of Jamaica, Sean Davis of England, and Pascal Chimbanda of France will join with Jamaica Reggae Boys legends Walter Boyd, Onandi Lowe, and Cayman Islands national team greats Lee Ramone, Gilly Seymour, Antonio Smith, Richard Hugh, and many more. Gates open at 3 p.m. with free admission to the public, and all patrons must be seated no later than 5:30 p.m. when the gates will close. Large bags and glass bottles will not be permitted. This all-star charity football match will feature entertainment at halftime and a donation collection in support of the Hope for Today Foundation. Saturday, June 29th at Truman Bodden Sports Complex. Don't miss as football legends from the UK, the Caribbean, and the Cayman Islands come together to play in this historic match as we celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Cayman Islands Constitution. Admission is free. For more information, visit celebratecayman.ky.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you so much for joining us. And I say this, and I hopefully it'll be the mantra for our society that we should continually encourage and uplift our own, help us to seek the highest standards, a standard of excellence in everything we do, working hard, willing to serve, and to be as much of a sacrifice as we can in order to ensure that the society is better. To be able now to speak to both Daniel Purry and Darla Dilbert, to this venture, Cycle Cayman, to see that what I think is innate in our people, that entrepreneurial spirit, to see the business acumen, to see the willingness to say, let's try this thing and see how it goes. It has to be not only encouraged, but it's commendable. And I honor it.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, I love bicycles. I love riding. I used to enjoy it. That's about one of the things that I used to do way back when that I don't anymore.
It was my hobby as a kid.
Yeah.
Same.
Well, it was my hobby until I was still a kid at heart. Not that long ago, right? But I would ask you, and maybe in asking, maybe invite the public to find out how we can make it safer from two perspectives. And the other reasons why I don't ride to any extent.
Right.
And I feel so concerned for anybody who's riding, whether it's just getting to work, whether it's exercising, whether you're competitive.
Right.
It's us who are driving. The way we seem to be inconsiderate, seem to be careless. I know you might say, boy, you're really making some disparaging comments against motorists, but it feels that way when you're riding a bicycle.
You see the accidents,
right?
yeah.
And,
I think it goes on both sides, because I think there are, pedestrians who think they own the road. And then it's the drivers who actually think that they own the road. So we just got to I think what we need is to put more, not necessarily rules in place, because I think they're there, is just to actually man them and implement them and make sure that they're followed through.
Agreed.
And that signs are everywhere, and that obviously we get the lanes, put in place for the walkers and the bikers and so forth. Yeah. And keep them out of the harm way.
And I think that when people talk about it, right, they don't see that it's in on Grand Cayman. I won't speak for the BRAC, right? On Grand Cayman, and I'll just limit it to West Bay and Georgetown, because that's where I ride, or when I ride.
Right.
So it doesn't matter which neighborhood you're in, which street you're in, whether it's West Bay or Georgetown. I'm told it's the same in all of the districts. Yeah. But the other day I rode, I guess that's South Church Street. So you're heading that direction, going past Smith's Back of there, come up to South Sound Road. I went around, came down Walker's Road, and then came back around, right? Because that's a nice little loop.
Right.
And it should seem to be fairly safe.
Right.
My understanding that's not 100 mile an hour roadway. It's 2 lanes.
Miles. Did you have an incident out there?
Dred, listen to me, man. The drivers that seem to want to swerve towards you, that seem to want to say, well, what are you doing on the bicycle on the road? Right? Now, there were other cyclists coming on the same lane towards you. So there are the cyclists who don't pay attention.
Right.
And I'm not talking about the guys who are riding their bicycles very professional, very fast, and trying to exercise. Yeah. Just a casual ride.
Right.
A lot of cyclists now, on the road, and a lot of drivers are not paying attentive. But the other thing, dogs. All kinds of, ferocious looking dogs.
Yeah. It's like an obstacle course.
Next time I go, I go see if I can get a.
But that's something that I'm glad you're bringing up on air, because hopefully whoever's out there listening that would be in charge of this area, that they deal with it. Because on the other hand, I live in South Sound, and I get to see a lot of tourists walking and cycling along that road, and if we don't get that under control, we bring in everything. We're bringing in the good and the bad, and that sets us up for some major disasters.
Yeah, some problems.
So we need to definitely look into that.
Yeah.
And I think back to your concept of Cycle Cayman, okay. My buddy who's riding not far, I guess it's called town, he's coming into town to work. And so traffic isn't going anywhere, and he's his bicycle. He's a good rider. He's safe, he's courteous. I think only good things, when I think of him. But he's riding. He does not ride in fast. Okay, when he gets in, he has the resources to change, to shower, to to get the day in, and he's coming in early enough. So what may have been a 20-minute drive is probably a 5-minute bike ride, for argument's sake, right? Doesn't take him very long, so he gets in there, he gets a time. Now, you imagine if it's him times, 1,000, right? How much better it is for traffic, how much nicer it is, and all of a sudden, everybody has lost a couple of pounds there.
A much healthier society.
Right? Yeah. You're offering an opportunity for us to at least take up, the option to say, you know what, we're going to cycle to work every Friday. As a corporate entity, we conclude that it's costing us X dollars to come in. We put that in a till, and every quarter we make a donation to something, a school, an environment. Just another idea. Wow.
No, it's just great ideas.
Motivating and incentivizing. I want to get into Cycle Cayman. So you see the app. Now that's not an appetizer, so that's a little application.
Not edible.
I love it.
No gravy. No gravy.
I utilize my app. I can pay because apparently it's like not even a couple.
It's so easy.
Of cents. Yeah.
It's so easy. Even myself, who is not that technical savvy, I downloaded the app. I went on it. I looked for location, and it was quick, easy, and painless. And you get on the bike and off you go. Yeah. You find the location where you can land it. And
quick, easy, and painless.
Quick, easy, and painless.
Yeah, a lot easier than a referendum verification. Susan,
you good, Sterling. Careful.
Susan, boy,
but everything is going that direction these days, right?
No, but you make it convenient. You make it accessible. It's cost effective in so many ways.
Exactly.
I know.
I think it's really going to take some time, Sterling, for us to see that kind of cultural shift to where we are willing especially as Caymanians, being willing to take go out of our way to maybe take an alternative means of transport. It's going to take some time, but if we don't make some changes now, my kids and their kids and so forth, things are not going to be in a good place by the time by the time it's all said and done. Some change has to occur at some stage. So.
Well, the other day I was told that there was a cycle. There's a name for it, but London, New York, Chicago, a couple of places had this nude cycle. Not advocating for that just yet, but I said yes, I did say it.
But no, we won't set that one up.
We're
not going to go there.
We can't go there.
But you are, it brings attention to so many things, not just the environmental impact, but the social benefits, the health benefits of being able to cycle. And I think the Cayman context of not long ago, that was other than the catboat, that was a primary mode of transport for many of our people. My mother talks about stories of having gravel and big sand, on a handlebar and riding in the bog of sand road, right? That's what sand road to get to somewhere. And the bicycle was this prized thing like the car is of today.
Wow.
We've moved away from that. Yeah. Maybe it is time that as a society we come back to it.
Yeah, well, I was with Wade, my lawyer, a few days ago, and he reminded me of people that, got on the bike and rode from West Bay to East End on a regular basis.
Yep.
That was a means of transportation.
Tomorrow, but maybe one day.
But you know what? The option is there for persons that would like to be able to do that. So
it is.
It is such a good alternative to getting in that car. Think about the money you could save just in fuel.
Yeah, and think about the country's savings as well. We're going to build roads coming from east to west, west to east. We're going to build new roads. It's going to cost us an X. We've already spent a lot. Look at the time in traffic that you're sitting there, right?
It's gotten out of hand.
Yeah. Big thing.
So you imagine now if we're, I go back to Bermuda and I still see the sea of mopeds come in, the blazers and the shorts and the socks up to the knees. It's still like a comedy show, but anyway. And they come in and they stop light and then they zoom and then they stop. Imagine how all bicycles coming in together, hundreds of bicycles coming in as they get in there. What it would mean for our people. Yeah, okay, it's hot. Yeah, there are times when it's rain, but people drive Jeeps and ride motorbikes. People walk. This isn't, anything new. It's just novel for us for now.
Exactly. Right.
How do you get us, Daniel, to make that transition? I mean, the introductory sort of ride with Cycle Cayman.
I think the key thing, Sterling, is awareness, starting with the fact that, the bikes are available, they're readily available, continuing to get our kind of brand out there and what we're trying to achieve, and making the public aware of what our long-term goal is, as well as, the capabilities that we offer in the short term. I think that is the key start, as well as obviously working with the necessary parties, including government, to build up that kind of, security is not the word, but that safe kind of mentality when it comes to our roads and so forth. Unfortunately, last year, one of my actual direct co-workers passed away in a bicycle accident on West Bay Road. And that was during the time we were first looking at this venture. And, it made me take a step back and kind of look at the venture as a whole and what we'd have to really put in place in the long term. And because of these type of issues, we're really kind of making safety especially a priority, and building up that real awareness.
Well, I think having the bikes out there, I think it comes to that sense of a cultural ethos, whereas people who are driving in the cars, not just the driver, but the driver specifically, but all the others, that we start to show the deference that we should to cyclists and to pedestrians, and make it that they have the right of way. If nothing else, God forbid a car and a bike collide, the chances are the person on the bike and the bike itself is going to get the worst of it, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
So if you're driving, don't think, well, you better watch out for me because I got hit. No, let me not make sure I hit you because
it's so funny.
It's the weirdest thing, man.
Yeah,
I know. I personally think that we need more policing along the roads.
Enforcement and stuff.
So there's more enforcement for all these rules that we have, because that's what we're lacking right now is enforcement of
I feel like the rules are in place, and the plans are there for the building of the roads and the safety features, but it's the enforcement that we might need.
But then too, I think it's, and I don't want to say this to disrespect anybody, but common sense and courtesy seem to be out the window.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
And there's I always say common sense isn't common.
Yeah. But think of the person, the fellow, right, riding his bicycle in the opposite direction. He's not a pedestrian, so you're supposed to follow the rules of the road as if you were a vehicle. He's riding on the sidewalk, not only on the sidewalk, but in the wrong direction as well. Right. Now, is that because of fear of safety? Well, let's address that. But sometimes it's because I want to beat the traffic, or you're riding your bicycle, but you're not obeying the road, so you're going down, like we see on the motorbike sometimes, down the center lane. You're putting yourself at risk. Don't do that so that you can
follow the rules.
Right? I know in some parts of the world, I'm told in California in particular, there is this growing practice. I don't know how accepted, how commonplace, how acknowledged it is, but presumably, traffic is horrendous in California.
It is terrible.
The guys on the motorbikes going home in the evenings, they're on the left shoulder of the road. They're coming down, sometimes fast, but the vehicles would sort of pull more, to the center, away from the shoulder, allowing the bike to pass, right? Speeding them through, and there's some sort of friendly gesture to acknowledge, hey, I see what you did, thanks, as opposed to another gesture to say, yeah, I see what you did, But if we develop that over time, as Daniel shared, that becomes the norm, that people start to appreciate the impact.
Yeah, the more awareness we get out there for anything, and definitely with this, it's definitely going to be better for us. The good news is, we're catering to tourists that are coming from a lot of these, like I say, cities and whatnot. So they already have quite a bit of knowledge around it. But we do need to get it here locally, a lot more out there, and get people on the right side of the law in most cases, and just really work towards this green initiative that we're bringing forward.
Well, I like what you shared, and not to put more on the police, but I think just presence and enforcement.
The presence, we need a lot more presence.
I know a lot of us as drivers, we speed, so sometimes having the patrol car hiding somewhere with a radar gun to catch us speeding would do good for the coffers. It may deter others, but there are those who contend that, just patrol that road more frequently.
Well, at least the busier areas to start off with.
There'll be less of us who are infringing it.
For sure.
I saw something to this Friday, so that was Wednesday, whatever it was. Police car's up ahead, the car slows down, and until it gets up ahead, and police car speeds back up again. I'm thinking, okay. Now, Cycle Cayman, I don't want to get away from. I'm so encouraged by what you were sharing. CycleCayman.com is where we can get information.
Yes, sir.
We about the process is. So we pay online, all kind of stuff. I mean, how does that work?
Yeah. So you start with downloading an app called Movatic. That's MOVATIC. That app is actually the main host of the Cycle Cayman subscription and rental facility. So from there, you'll be able to locate all of our active stations on the island. Currently, we are located and live in Cayman Bay. In the very near future, within the next coming weeks, we'll be have a location in Georgetown and another additional location down the West Bay Road, and expanding from there over the coming months.
Okay. So two questions. Just like Ms. Darla, I pretend not to know much about technology, so bear with me, right?
It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
So I probably got a phone, hopefully it's one that works and the like. So I go on, and I'm not sure, but I know it's Cycle Cayman. I don't know that the website cyclecayman.com, but if I type in one of the search engines, see, I know that term, Cycle Cayman, it'll come up. It'll tell me what to do. So I follow that, I download the app, and I go there.
Correct.
And I get the stuff, and then decide I would like to rent a bike. I'm going to leave West Bay some part, and I can come to town some part. Do I need to take it back to where I got it from, or I can drop it off?
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You can land it off at any location that has a station.
Yes.
Yeah, so long as it's within your time that you if you're paid for or set up for. The thing is that we want to say to especially locals, I guess, moving forward, is that if you go over by a minute, then you start to get charged into your next hour or whatever.
Yeah, it's incremental, right?
Yeah. So it's incremental.
It's an automated system.
But that's the good thing about it is that you do not have to take the bike back to the original location. You can land it at any one of our docking stations.
Yeah,
cool, man.
It will take us some time to have the level of multiplicity that we want with the docking stations. But as I just said, we are in the works, and it will be.
It's impressive. What I've seen before knowing anything about it and looking at it, it's ingenious. Honestly, I'm very impressed, very encouraged, and I wish you incredible success.
Thank you
it's
very
amazing.
much.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
I can see it in the future. You'll be able to dial up, the bike is brought to you, and you can ride it from there, drop it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time. Huh?
Our website, by the way, I can commend Daniel and a friend of hers, Brittany. They did an excellent job on the website. It's very clean, it's very green, and it all the information you could possibly need about riding is on there. So I encourage everyone to just go and look it up. CycleCayman.com.
All right, CycleCayman.com. Well, Daniel Purry, with the, can we say the tutelage of Ms. Darla Dilbert?
Yeah, that's safe to say.
Yeah, she's an incredible mentor, man. I'm very, very proud of you. Thanks very much. And going forward, at any point that we can help, this is what Cayman should be about. The success of the country being shared by the Caymanians in the country, so that we all, become part of this, what I think is a wonderful chocolate pie. But maybe just a good piece of cassava cake. With that,
I was thinking about that chocolate comment.
Yeah, I know what you were thinking about. I was too. All right, we're going to pause and take a break. When I come back, you know what? There'll be some open line.
Need more control and convenience at your fingertips? Well, you can now manage your Flow account when you want, where you want, and the ways you want with the new and improved MyFlow web portal. View balances, pay bills, top up, and activate add-ons and more, all from one convenient place. Visit myflow.discoverflow.ky and use your Flow ID or download the MyFlow self-care app to get started. Skip the lines and enjoy control and convenience with the new and improved MyFlow web portal. Visit discoverflow.ky for more.
Don't forget to tune in every Monday through Friday for the 7 a.m. news, brought to you by Cayman National Bank, proudly serving the Cayman Islands since 1974. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
The following is a special announcement from the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association.
It's that time again. CICSA Back to School Member Backpack and School Supplies Distribution will take place July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the CICSA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 Shoe Shop.
And July 13th in Cayman Brac from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing.
Members, you are being asked to kindly bring bring identification. And if you are collecting bags on behalf of another member, please bring a written signed note from that member with a copy of their ID as well. Remember, SIGSA members backpack distribution July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIGSA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 shoe shop.
July 13th in Cayman Brac, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ready Civic Center Medical Wing. And to quote Anthony D'Angelo, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Dessert lovers, Exquisite Edibles presents an exciting series of cookie making and cake decorating workshops with award-winning cake designer Daniel Catan at Savannah Primary School, Tuesday, July 9th to Sunday, July 14th. Sugar roses, buttercream, fondant, 3D cakes, cookies, and a wedding cake masterclass. Beginners and advanced learners are all welcome. Price ranges $150 to $200. For more details and to register, call or WhatsApp 917-5538. Or email exquisite.edibles@yahoo.com. Exquisite Edibles brings Daniel Catan to Cayman, July 9th to 14th. Hurry, space is limited.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. And, sometimes, honestly, I really appreciate Miss Norma for saying, you see that? I pay you, you have so much fun. Maybe I paying you too much. I don't know. 949-8037, 949-6990. It's open line. It's a Friday. It's, the eve of a long weekend as we celebrate our Constitution and the like. And as we have so much, transpiring within our country, I think it's great that we can celebrate our people. And really, really honored thus far to have the chance to not only initially talk to you about Untitled Cayman and to see, as they were sharing earlier, the phenomenal talent within our country, the people who've come and been a part of the community, making it their home, who as they live and grow and sort of, partake in all that is great here. And then just a few minutes ago, to be able to not only speak with Ms. Darla Dilbert, but to Daniel Power as well in their latest venture, Cycle Cayman. It just shows you that our people are industrious. They, have that strong entrepreneurial nature about them. That as the country continues to, evolve, progress, and the like, that our people are able to increasingly and hopefully being supported and nurtured and provided with whatever incentives, either through government or corporate, to be able to monetize their ideas, capitalize on opportunities, and to truly, truly benefit financially from what is happening. We hear many times from people who come here and see it as a land of, milk and honey, as it were, golden opportunities. People who use the infrastructure of our laws in the financial sector, headquarter their businesses here, and really, really make a fortune because of what we have here. Well, is there a way that we can allow our people to not only be employees, but to be employers, to be those businesses that in 100 years are so much a part of our fabric because they've not only been successful and successfully employed others, but they've made an invaluable contribution to our communities. Now, that won't all happen without a supportive, nurturing community, without good, responsive legislation, with the perception that the community is a safe, a vibrant one, without proper enforcement of our laws, but without a community's ethos that respects and values the rule of law, respects and values each other and themselves, that understands that these are not simple things, that they're significant. If you're walking your dog, is it leashed and muzzled? If it, makes its business there, then you pick it up. That if it's in this yard, it's, properly contained. But equally, if you're in your yard, are you, enjoying yourself, but not to the extent that it becomes a nuisance or annoyance to your neighbors? If you're working on your car, for instance, you got some friends over, you're changing the oil, whatever it is, but you're not carrying on a commercial entity of an industrial nature, in particular like painting or border work or whatever. Just as some of the examples that some of you have shared that you've encountered in your neighborhoods, helping out a friend in instances like that is one thing, but on a daily, ongoing basis, 7 days a week, having an auto garage in your house, well, is that what should be accepted and allowed? Some of you say yes, why not? You don't have to pay rent, you're already paying for the house, so why not? Others will say, well, wait a minute, is it safe for you, the worker? Is it safe for the neighbors to hear the constant noise and the hammering of the border work and the like, or to smell the noxious fumes of the paint as it's applied to the vehicle? Other issues to consider, the solvents and the other materials that are being used as they go into the groundwater. How is that affecting? Little things that should, be considered, and hopefully are. But more than that, what are we doing in our own lives that negatively affect others, and what are we doing that could be more of a positive contribution? Well, your thoughts. 949-8837, 949-6990, or toll free with the compliments of Flo at 1-800-534-8255. And if you want, you can certainly send us your thoughts on our WhatsApp, 925-3261. Susan's right there, so probably why we're behaving a lot more today. But she has her hands full about hey, when she has to deal with us here on this side of the equation. Quick reminder that there are a couple of great things happening this weekend. You've heard about Untitled Cayman, but equally tomorrow evening at the Truman Borden Sports Complex, there's that football match being billed as the Legends taking place. Some of the Cayman greats like Lee and Anthony Ramon will be out there hitting the ball with some of the other visiting professional players. And right next door in the Dwayne Ebanks boxing gym, 7:30 onwards, the football match I think is going to be at 6. From 7:30 onwards, the boxing gets on the way, and an opportunity. I'm just learning about some of the protocols with respect to the security measures that are put in place for the football match. So maybe somebody to talk about Monday, if they are indeed what we're hearing. But if it is, maybe the changing face and facade came on. I don't know. 949-8837, 949-6990, or toll free with the kind compliments of Flo at 1-800-534-8255, or you can WhatsApp 925-3261. Well, with Miss Susan's wonderful consent, I'll pause quickly and take a short break and see if I can find some bread and water. No, it doesn't feel like prison, but when I come back, more talk today.
If your business is over here, but your customers are over here, adding more yellow to your business will bring you both right here. With everyone searching yellows, print, online, and mobile app, getting your business noticed is easier than ever. Book your consultation today at findyellow.com.
Support our port, support our tourism.
You know government's responsibility is to create an economic environment where Caymanian businesses can thrive. The cruise industry brings $200 million worth of revenue each year. The cruise berthing facility will protect and grow the cruise industry, providing entrepreneurial opportunities for Caymanians.
Looking forward, looking bright.
Learn more and spread the word.
Support our port, support our tourism.
Important announcement for the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. The NICE Project Summer Registration and Orientation is this Tuesday, 2nd July at 9 a.m. at the Lions Center. To register, all applicants must produce a proper photo ID, such as a passport, driver's license, or a voter registration card to make sure your application can be accepted and properly processed. Application forms should be completed beforehand as much as possible and brought in on registration day. Forms are available at district libraries, MLA offices, NAU, WORC, formerly NWDA, and the Government Administration Building.
The following is a special announcement from the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association.
It's that time again. SIXA Back to School. Member Backpack and School Supplies Distribution will take place July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIXA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 shoe shop.
And July 13th in Cayman Brac from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing.
Members, you are being asked to kindly bring identification, and if you are collecting bags on behalf of another member, please bring a written signed note from that member with a copy of their ID as well. Remember, SIXA members backpack distribution July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIXA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 shoe shop.
July 13th in Cayman Brac, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing. And to quote Anthony D'Angelo, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecast, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. It is open line as we invite you to be a part of our discussion, 949-8037 and 949-6990. Let's go to our phones. Good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Dwayne.
Hey, Mr. Ambassador. Good afternoon, man. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Boy, listen, I'm alive, I'm blessed, I'm thankful, very grateful, man. It's a wonderful day.
Yeah, I know. This is nice, the rain and the flooding, but you see, the most amazing thing, the two statements, one from the airport authority saying that the flood come under the doors, and one other statement from government is a different statement. I mean, the two statements is different from each other. It's very amazing, you know, how when people know they done something wrong, spend the country money, $67 million in a project, it's failure and it will flood again, is not going to be the first time or the last time. From what Mr. Steve McField, the ex-member of the airport board authority, said, he said that the recommendation did say that this airport is not suitable location to be an airport, and it is a waste of money to spend 67 million in that location. And he said that a new airport will cost 150 million in the Eastern District. And all these recommendations, which government spend millions of dollars in those recommendations, and they don't listen to those recommendations, they never listen to anything, and they go and renovate the airport who is already, they know it is not going to work. They can't extend the runway. They spend all this money, I don't know in what. I don't see big improvement in the airport. Nothing could cost all these millions of dollars. And it's leaking water from everywhere, from the roof, because I see a video, water dropping from up, down. I see a video, water flooding all over the airport. And, you know, the funny thing that a minister, he have to be ashamed of himself, come out and saying people should thank himself and the other minister for, and the government for doing the airport, doing a failure project and wasting the taxpayers' money of this country. And you want us to thank you? Thank you for what? That language from the minister show what type of person he is.
I probably some would say to you, you know, that's a good person. All right, thank you for sharing. With that, let's take another caller before we go to our news. Good afternoon. Welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. Good afternoon, Miss Susan, and to the listeners. How you doing?
Good afternoon, sir. How are you today?
Hi, not good with the flu here.
Oh,
I feel like I'm dropping down.
Wow, I hope you feel better.
I took time out to honor the great sea captain, Captain Ned Miller. I have the third biggest tanker in the world passing south of Grand Cayman around 3 or 4 this evening. The Front Princess, Norwegian-owned, the world's third largest tanker, will be sounding its horns, 10 long blows of the horn to honor Captain Ned Miller, and she will be passing 3 to 4 this evening south of Grand Cayman en route from China, bound for Texas to load crude oil to go back to China. It is 1,102 feet long, just over 1,100 feet long, 196 feet wide at 318,000 tons. Norwegian, owned by the richest man in the world, John Frederickson, which Captain Harold Banks tried to get him here in Cayman Brac to do ship-to-ship transfers. He was willing to do it, but government did not give approval for John Frederickson to do it. And then when me and my brother was also involved in getting the ship-to-ship transfer in Cayman Brac, we didn't get through with it. And that would have been a lucrative business, creating employment for our Caymanian seamen.
Is that still something you think that is possible now with all the time that has passed, but also with all the things that are transpiring?
Yes, it is a great possibility. It can be reestablished, definitely so.
What would be, from your perspective, on the things that could maybe either prevent it, hinder, hamper it from happening?
Well, with everything in Cayman Brac and in the Cayman Islands, there is objections and opposition, but we look at the facts of this Cayman Energy that had 92 people employed in Cayman Brac. It was the second, national bulk carrier that provided so much money into the economy. And now that ship-to-ship transfers is needed to be done so many places over the world, and they're doing it off St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is a cruise ship destination, one of the biggest cruise ship destinations in the world. They have a ship anchored off there, and other tankers comes and brings the propane. That was actually our business we were trying to get for Cayman Brac, me and Captain Radley, along with the company that was doing it. And the government did verbally approve it under Mr. Bush, and Miss Juliana traveled to Texas to give approval with the president of the company, then Scoggin Petrotrans, and my brother, Captain Radley, met with them. But what happened, it took so long before the decision could have been made that they actually went to the Dominican Republic. They're doing it in Honduras, and they're doing it actually off of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
It is, I think, as you shared, but perhaps in time, maybe we'll either recognize the misfortune, or we may realize that not every disappointment is a misfortune. With the greatest respect, Mr. Raymond, allow us to leave us there for now as we go to our news break. But when we come back, we invite those to share their thoughts with us. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
With your latest headlines, I'm April Cummings. The National Roads Authority is asking all motorists to drive with caution and reduce speed in the vicinity of the Cayman National Bank roundabout this weekend, June 29th and 30th. Road striping will be carried out to install pedestrian crossings on Huldah Avenue, Elgin Avenue, and Thomas Russell Way sections of the roundabout. The work is expected to be underway between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. daily. The NRA apologizes for the inconvenience and asks that you follow all signs and diversions and drive carefully to keep yourself and their staff safe. In international headlines, a meeting of the remaining partners in the Iranian nuclear deal produced some progress, but not enough to satisfy Tehran's demands. That's according to a senior Iranian official today, who offered little prospect for the country backing away from a move to surpass a uranium stockpile threshold that could doom the agreement. The U.S. Supreme Court will not revive Alabama's attempt to ban the most commonly used procedure in second trimester abortions after the measure was blocked by lower courts. The justices Friday rejected the state's appeal and declined to review a lower court ruling that blocked the law. The 2016 Alabama law sought to ban the abortion procedure known as dilation and evacuation, a procedure Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall referred to in court filings as, quote, dismemberment abortion. And land donated by the Kenneth B. Dart Foundation to the New Zealand government has been designated a recreation reserve. The 2,100 acres of native forest in Tasman, the Nelson region of the South Island, will be held in perpetuity by the Department of Conservation, partnering with the Nelson Mountain Bike Club to provide public access to the property's network of trails. Those are your headlines. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. What's happening in your community? News and information, music, and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
I have various items coming from different suppliers that I need to ship to Cayman. Do you offer consolidation?
Yes. Seaboard Marine offers consolidation for full and less than container loads. We can hold your packages at our Miami warehouse until everything arrives and ship it all in one go. And we have the best rates to Grand Cayman. Visit seaboardmarine.com for more information.
Shipping shore to shore.
The following is a special announcement from the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association.
It's that time again. SIXA Back to School. Member Backpack and School Supplies Distribution will take place July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIXA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 Shoe Shop.
And July 13th in Cayman Brac from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing.
Members, you are being asked to kindly bring identification, and if you are collecting bags on behalf of another member, please bring a written signed note from that member with a copy of their ID as well. Remember, SIXA members backpack distribution July 8th to the 12th, daily from 1 to 7 p.m. in Grand Cayman at the SIXA office located on the second floor of the Hospital Road Plaza above number 1 Shoe Shop.
July 13th in Cayman Brac, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center Medical Wing. And to quote Anthony D'Angelo, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. It is Open Line. We invite you to be a part of our discussion for Friday, and as Monday is a holiday, on behalf of Mr. Art Corner, listen, no for the record, no talk today, as you go out and celebrate our Constitution weekend. Let's go to our phones. Welcome, you're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Sterling. How are you?
Very well. And yourself?
Pretty good.
All right, good to hear from you.
Good. I was listening to you off and on about some cycling program or something here in the island. I'm not sure word for word about it.
Yeah, Cycle Cayman.
Yeah. And I'm talking about the roads and sharing and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Sterling, we got some regular motorbikes out here. And I don't know where they're supposed to ride on our roads because then they're really in between the vehicles on the road. And they don't know when the vehicles are turning to the left or turning to the right.
This is the motorbikes.
These are regular motorbikes.
Right.
I'm not talking about the young ones that they're really up in air. I'm talking about regular motorbikes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
So I want to know where are they lanes for riding on the road because, like I say, it's dangerous for them to be coming in and out of the cars on the road. And they don't know when the cars are turning left to the right. And, you know, something needs to be done about that. They should not be allowed to ride in the center lane, the white lane or the yellow lane, knowing they got cars on both sides.
Right. So do you think that, do you think there's some sort of, because maybe it's two things. Maybe it's lack of education and awareness on the part of motorcycle riders. It shouldn't be, but perhaps it is. And do you think that it is then that as a society, we've adopted this, as somebody said that they're free for this lawlessness about ourselves. So with respect to what you're sharing on those of us who ride motorbikes, you know, we paid our license, we have a license, we've insured our motorbikes, but we're riding down the center lane, and we're overtaking because the bikes are small and they can't scoot between the traffic, but we're putting ourselves at risk. We're probably offending the sensibilities of other drivers and maybe giving motorcyclists a bad rep, perhaps even more of a negative perception than necessary.
They need to be riding the road properly. I guess how a car would ride the road properly instead of coming in between cars.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't have enough roads to make any special lanes for no motorbikes. We got little lanes there saying it's for bicycles and walkers, and people are even driving and overtaking in those lanes. And those little lanes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it is bad to say so. Sterling, I don't hardly get caught in the 5 o'clock traffic, but I got caught there twice last week going east.
Mm-hmm.
Sterling from Georgetown to Linford Pearson Highway. It took me over 35 minutes to get out of Georgetown to Hurley roundabout. And look like the more roads we get, the more cars we are getting on the road. So I don't know what the NRA and Mr. Hunem is thinking and doing about the roads because Sterling today, I don't know what's happening in Georgetown that every road I have been on practically is a backup here and there. I don't see no accident. The way I've been traveling for the last couple of hours, I haven't seen an accident. But the traffic is bumper to bumper all the way down Smith Road, now in the 7 Mile. The new bypass, Dart bypass and so forth. The cars is just bumper to bumper. And I'm like, what's going on today? Today's only on Friday. And I don't see no accident, you know?
Yeah, it has been interesting recently, the shift in traffic. Normally, as the summer rolls around and schools are out, less people on island, the traffic eases. But for the last couple of days,
no, it's not easing up at all.
No,
it's not easing up at all. But I just want to say, Sterling, I don't care how many roads we get, it ain't gonna solve the problem because every time we open a new road, we get 10 more cars.
So how do you? I mean, from your perspective, then, if you're willing to share an opinion, what do you think we can do to reduce the traffic congestion, the amount of cars on the roads, and as a result, perhaps the need for governments, to spend more money on not just building, but maintaining the roads. What do you think we can do?
Well, Sterling, I just want to say that everybody here is right now very small. Everybody has their own car. You got a family, they got 5 cars in the yard, and nobody wants to carpool with each other in the yard because then everybody's going a different direction at the end of the morning or the end of the evening or lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually right now is very small with having our own car doesn't want to share. And for government to step in and say, build an overpass and all that kind of stuff, I really don't see the logic in an overpass to a degree. Probably if it comes, it comes. But all I got to say that we need to try to control the amount of cars that we have on the road.
How so? How would we do that? How would we...
We need to do what Bermuda has been doing for some time. And I met a gentleman from there, and he said that when he comes to the Cayman 3-4 times a year and see the amount of cars that's on the road here in Cayman, he said, we don't play that in Bermuda. We don't play that.
But then I hear your perspective. Certainly something, we need to at least start to just a little think about what we're going to do. But your perspective on being spoiled, I think, is very, very valid. But let's just say that in the household that has 1 or 2 cars only, and there are multiple drivers, without the car to get you where you want to go, it seems, from what I gather from many people, very, very difficult. If you're home and you need to get to work or to play or to some other place, if you don't have an access, easier access to a vehicle, it's difficult to get there.
Because we don't have no proper bus service either.
Okay.
We don't have no bus service, and we got a lot of proud people here who ain't gonna ride no bus to go to the movies or to their job. They don't want their boss, their co-workers, to them stepping off in no bus to come into an office. Nothing is wrong with that. You go to New York and everywhere else.
I fully understand your perspective, but I've heard from people, and not just those foreign nationals who have come from places like you referenced that are used to taking, proper public transport, but from people, either Caymanians or people who've been there for a very long time. They've shared that it's not, in their mind, as safe as they'd like it to be, as reliable as they would like it to be. Not just those individuals in the outlying districts who will say, well, the bus is supposed to come this way, but it doesn't come, consistently. We can see it turning a quarter mile up the road, and because there's nobody here. Mm-hmm. So how do we get it so that we have a safe, reliable,
Sterling, that would take just about every engineer to go in the whole world to come here to tell us how to go about eliminating the amount of cars we have on an island. I mean, Sterling, if you watch some yards, got all 8 cars parked up in the yard, and you know what nationality that is? I don't have to even call their name.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, I believe it goes across the board these days, because...
the Caymanians, the locals had lots of cars years gone by, but not as much now they used to. They used to have one for partying, one to go to church, one to go to work, and all that, and one to go look for the girlfriend, all that kind of stuff. You understand? That was the story I heard as a kid coming up. You understand? But no disrespect to anyone, but I really believe that I don't care what government it is, don't start stepping in and put some restrictions on the vehicles on the road, Sterling. If anything happened in Cayman, let me tell you something. You're going to have to park that car, and you will get there quicker by walking from any district. Because you're going to have a bottleneck somewhere.
Well, as you're listening, we have a number of messages coming in about traffic. I'll just share with you since you're on point. A couple of them are talking to the whole issue of the lack of courtesy on our roads, not just the way people are driving, but the way people will, stop in the road and have a conversation with the other driver, one in one lane and one in the opposite lane, or they pull off partway off the road and partway on the road, and 2 cars parallel to each other, and just having a conversation, maybe we'll figure out what number plate or what number to buy, or maybe who they go vote for, or how they go vote in the referendum. I don't know, maybe they're asking. But that behavior is that we're increasingly experiencing in our communities. How do we address that?
Where's the police? Come on, give them a ticket.
Well, sometimes even, people that we know to be in positions of responsibility sometimes engage in similar behaviors. There's a listener who has shared to us to be a little careful because there are 2 very large trucks that are parked in the middle of the road opposite the bank in Governor's Square. And that's a fairly large intersection, so we've seen that a number of times. So appreciate that.
Yeah. But Sterling,
yes, Mom.
You know, we have a lot of those open bed trucks on the island here.
Mm-hmm.
And you know you're not allowed to carry no one in the back of it. But they're here fighting about having human beings on the back of those open trucks.
Mm.
But Sterling, when those baby open trucks are carrying all of these PVC pipes and cement and gravel and so forth, that just is dangerous. Is having someone on the back of their truck, because then that truck can overturn, and kill some individual.
Right, well.
But Sterling, before you let me go, I want to say something to you in regard to that Mr. Georginian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he taken up our airport on his head for. We, the people of this island, will have to solve that problem, because he can't solve it. So him coming onto the radio, saying what he's saying, it's not going to work. Because just the other day, he came and criticized the referendum that the guys are doing on the radio and saying that we need to give the government respect and the government this and the government that. Now he come back and change him out like a Spanish machete, cutting on both sides. No disrespect to him.
I heard that phrase no why.
You know, so he just need to leave that airport alone, and if they can't get it fixed, then we the people will determine next 2 years what the story will be when it comes to that airport. So I just asked him to leave my airport alone.
All right. Well, like that song, you know, or be an artist. Jack don't want me to be on my beach. Tell Big God Jack, Gabby say. Susan, that's probably the song you play after this, huh? That's why I host a talk show and don't sing on the radio. 8949-8837, 949-6990. It's a Friday afternoon. When you come back, a few more minutes of open line. What is on your mind, and, you know, what do you want us to know? Well, we would like to offer you a free ticket to the Talent Exposition of the Arts. We'll give that to you when we come back. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating.
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
June 26th is International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. Did you know that use of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs begin in adolescence? Studies show that the brain doesn't stop developing until the age of 25. So, kids, don't harm yourself by putting alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs in your body. This message is brought to you by the National Drug Council and Radio Cayman.
Country
classics. Well, I was born to coal miner's daughter. On the road again. They're gonna put me in the movies.
Papa Top again.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Well, I love them in
country
classics. Young love, first love. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table.
If you enjoy classic country music, come hang out with Radio Cayman this Saturday, 3:30 to 6 p.m.
In the Mississippi cotton picking Delta town.
This Saturday afternoon, following American Country Countdown, 3:30 to 6 on Radio Cayman.
Just walk on by. Wait on the corner.
Country
classics.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Can I send a request, please?
You don't really have to ask us. Just send a request.
This is a shout out to my ex.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you so much for joining us. 949-8037, 949-6990. Or toll free with the compliments of Flo at 1-800-534-8255. Or you can WhatsApp 925-3261. And I have just quickly fielded a couple of calls and comments about traffic. I should have asked Miss Susan, so I do apologize. Let me ask her now. Maybe she'll join me. Is the traffic outside really horrible? And is it raining? Someone messaged and asked us to be a little bit, if you would, announce. So go ahead, Susan. Tell us.
Afternoon, listeners. Afternoon, Sterling. Yeah, looking at what's happening on the Westby Road in front of Ritz. Yeah, traffic is steady in both directions. There's some rain coming down, so please drive with extra caution. You know, some sections of Grand Cayman, they don't rain, and then other sections it'll rain. Godfrey Nixon Way, traffic is steady as well, and Eastern Avenue, traffic flowing moderately. And on Huldah Avenue and Thomas Russell Way, no issues there as traffic is moderate. And Shamrock Road and Linford Pearson Highway looking pretty good as traffic is flowing pretty good. And no issues on Owen Roberts Drive as traffic is light to moderate. So it's raining on the Westby Road, but in Georgetown it's not raining.
All right.
Go figure, right?
Go figure. And I can see if you can have Miss Susan to adjust the camera to go to the 10th floor of the government building and see what the civil servants are doing up there. Okay, that's just kidding. There's no 10 stories. There should be, but
sure
there is.
They're working hard.
So the traffic, thanks to that listener was asking for a traffic update. So there is some rain on the roads, and the listener is saying to us, just please announce that we be a little bit more cautious on the roads. I don't say that to, berate anybody, to offend anyone's sensibilities, but, you don't want to get in an accident, not only because you could injure yourself or cause something else to happen, but the delay. Police might come, you might have to pay a little more in insurance premium, you might get a ticket, all kind of things that happen. But you can still get late to where you were going because guess what? You're not going to leave the scene, are you? So, what do you think, Miss Susan? Weekend weather report and the traffic ought to be good, right?
Well, 40% chance of rain this afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Outlook is going to be calling for decrease in cloudiness and showers from late tonight, and as there's an upper level to low pressure system weakens north of the Cayman area. So maybe some clearing up of the skies, but for right now this afternoon, some rain in the Westby area and the Westby Road area. So, yeah.
You know what they say, what happens when it rains, right? You get wet. That's good. I know you were thinking something else.
No, I was not.
Not you, I mean, my friend outside there.
Oh, okay.
949-8037.
Curling up with a good book, right?
Actually, that's been my favorite, I love, rain and rainy days and that leisure that came with the fact that because of rain, you couldn't do anything else, so you had to stay inside. Nowadays, it doesn't matter if it's rain or sunshine. People don't know the difference. They're locked up inside. I got a ticket, though, for a listener who would like to go to the Talent Exposition of the Arts. It's on Sunday evening. It's going to be at the Harkwell Theatre. And it's a really, really good talent. If I put on my glasses, I would actually be able to read it, but I can memorize it. So there's poetry and there's dance. The talent that we're increasingly seeing in our communities, for those of us that attend the church, we see, within the performances, when we go to the school functions, we see it there. There's some incredible, very, very talented young people in our community. So if you want a ticket, Miss Susan has paid for this one. Not a problem. She got a new raise recently. So she bought this one.
Absolutely, I didn't.
You didn't pay for it to get a raise. Which one? Neither. That's next year's budget. That's coming. No, we would like to just say a special thanks to the new the new Self-Help Community Foundation for allowing us to give our listeners some tickets, just to say thanks for their continued support. It's usually a very packed audience at the Harkwell Theatre. So when you get your ticket, get there early so you can get your seat and be a very, enjoyable evening as you celebrate. 949-8037, 949-6990. Happy to share a ticket with you for the Talent Exposition of the Arts coming up this Sunday. So there's a lot that is happening this weekend, and this is just one more activity. Let's go to our phones. Good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Hey, good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Listen, I got accused of being handsome earlier, so either the person glasses weren't working well or they were just being complimentary. I'm good.
Oh, man, I'm seeing you online. You're looking real great.
Oh, that's the filter.
So I called about the free ticket.
Yes, we would love to to, be able to say thanks and offer a ticket to you. Glad that you can, take the time to call and share with it, man. It's going to be a good event. The talent is phenomenal.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, anything else you want to share with our listeners? It is the weekend and we're going to concentrate on our Constitution. Monday's a holiday for most of us.
No, just looking forward to a restful weekend.
All right. Well, just out of normal protocol, so when the auditors come around, they can't say we didn't do it properly. And I gave it to my sister, my cousin, my friend, but they probably all wanted the same. Let Miss Susan take your details. When you come, just come to the reception here. We will require some ID. I think we waived the DNA and blood test now. So just bring a passport or driver's license. No, that's good. Just bring some ID and the ticket is there for you, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful, safe, enjoyable weekend.
You too.
All right. And to our listeners, if you think the joke and the jest isn't really that good, that I'm not Julio Iglesias when it comes to singing or Gabriel Iglesias when it comes to acting and performing, I fully agree with you. But if we can live, love, and laugh a lot, maybe we can spend less time frowning, more time smiling. But let's also find time to be involved and informed, and if it's something that the government particularly is doing that we like, let's jump on board and champion it. If it's something we think can be better, let's find a way that we can contribute to improve. If you want to give her 2, Miss Susan, go right ahead. I mean, you got extra one there? Give her 2 tickets. Why not? To that winner? Yeah. I got one in hand. Miss Susan got one. We just gave you another one. And this is how we do it here sometimes, and just to say thanks to our listeners for being a part of us. But if there is something that is happening in your community, whether it's something that the government has proposed or whether it's something that the private sector is doing, and you don't think, hey, that's good, you can, I believe, you should be able to, in a democracy, speak out. I think once you're respectful and do it in a civilized way, you say, hey, this isn't it. I wasn't there, but I gather from things that have happened just recently, and I don't believe that this is necessarily talking out of school, as it were, but it's important for people to have this opportunity to share and to communicate and to network and the like. We know the public sort of information shared in the media following the recent Chamber of Commerce event, where the representative from the DART conglomerate talking about this iconic tower, and many have speculated about, is it 50 stories? Is it of some of alleged potential drawings showing concepts that could mean that you have 150 stories? But seemingly the audience at the Chamber Forum recently didn't seem to be that much enthusiastic about it. The reception wasn't as great. Is it because it's too new? Is it too soon? Is it hasn't settled in? Haven't the right people been improve as it is? But it's a discussion as it is. Now, it may be the way to go. It may not be. But like so much, things are changing. Are we informed? Are we helping to facilitate and drive those changes? Are we prepared to, dig in to preserve the things that we think shouldn't be changed? Now, change, they say, is inevitable. Change is the only constant. Some say change is good. Well, depends on who is affected by it and in what way and to what extent. Now, just a quick reminder again, only in relation to the traffic, that in the industrial park area specifically, it's, really, really, really congested. So be a little bit careful. So if you coming around that roundabout, going up into the industrial park area, recognize that it's going to be, as seem to be the par for the course these days, bumper to bumper, slow go in and out. But do not be, frustrated, and do not allow yourself to be overly stressed and enraged and the like. And if there's a way that you can avoid going where you need to go then because you can do it another time, might be to your advantage. But if you have to go, hey, you don't need to grin and bear it. You just need to be a little bit more, peaceful and at ease so that you get there safely. Enjoy your long holiday weekend, and stress, because as far as I know, there's not another official public holiday until November. Maybe if Susan's birthday or mine was in September, maybe a good way to have a September birthday. But I always thought that holiday in September would be good way to celebrate our country and our people, and that transition between schools, the time when our fathers and uncles and brothers and all the seafarers were really missed at that time as they caught the ships and set sail. We look at our history and we see when the hurricanes impacted us, September, October, November. September will be a good time to say thanks and to celebrate our people. Well, let's do that this weekend as well as we can every day. So whether you're part of the InStyle Cayman events tonight and tomorrow, or whether you're watching the boxing tomorrow evening or the Dwayne Ebanks boxing gym, or whether you're going to go across and watch the football match, well, a lot of things are happening. Certainly, Sunday evening at the Hartwell is the Talent Exposition of the Arts. That's only, in a couple of hours, look at how much things are transpiring. All right, see you on Tuesday, God's willing. We'll have a safe, very enjoyable, and as our caller last shared, a very relaxing and fun-filled weekend. Stay tuned now for Miss Susan. If you have a particular request, call. She knows her music. She'll play it for you. And until Tuesday, be blessed.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.